From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, January 22nd, 2016. Silver is trading at $14.08 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,100 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $406. Antiwar.com reports that Saudi battleships have moved into the port of the southern Yemen city of Mukalla on Thursday, capturing the port area of the largest city currently under the control of Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula. Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula is said to have scrambled after this unexpected arrival of battleships, stepping up security patrols and establishing more checkpoints around the city, aiming to ensure that Saudi forces don't get in without a fight. Pro-Saudi forces have largely left Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula alone over the course of their 9-month war in Yemen, and indeed, the only reason Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula was able to take over Mukalla in the first place is that Saudi offensives forced the Shiite Houthis out of the area and left the city virtually unguarded. Pro-Saudi forces have recently fought with Islamists over the ports in their own temporary capital city of Aden, and this move against Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula's port is likely also in part a function of their recent objection of private ships docking in Mukalla to make deliveries without formal permission from the Saudi Navy.
For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
UPI reports an Environmental Protection Agency administrator responsible for overseeing a region that includes Flint, Michigan, tendered her resignation on Thursday amid growing concern for the water contamination crisis. Susan Headman, the agency director of Region 5, also known as the Chicago region, submitted her resignation to take effect February 1st, which was accepted by agency administrator Gina McCarthy. The agency said it agreed with Headman's assessment that her position could be a distraction as officials work to resolve the lead-contaminated water supply in Flint. The agency said, given Susan's strong interest in ensuring that EPA Region 5's focus remains solely on the restoration of Flint's drinking water. Those in Flint, a city of about 100,000, are being advised not to drink unfiltered tap water due to traces of lead that's leaked into the supply from old pipes. Experts say drinking lead-contaminated water poses a serious health risk. Also on Thursday, the EPA issued an emergency order calling on local officials to take a series of immediate steps to address the drinking water contamination. Earlier on Thursday, newly released emails about the crisis indicated that top officials looked to shift blame away from the state and a growing concern with the public image of the situation. In an email to Governor Rick Snyder, Lieutenant Governor Brian Kelly, and other state officials, Dennis Munchmore, who at the time was chief of staff to the governor, said Flint residents were using the issue of lead exposure as a political football, claiming the departments are underestimating the impact on the populations and particularly trying to shift responsibility to the state. Munchmore's comments are part of the 274 pages of emails released by Snyder in an effort to diffuse the growing anger over Flint's poor water quality.
In 2115 New England, there are no borders, no states, and no regulations, yet never has a more peaceful and prosperous place existed. But Mr. Drake's security company has seen better days. Faced with the prospect of waning power, Mr. Drake intends to replace the anarchy of New England with a government. But at what cost? And can anyone stop him? Anarchy in New England by Joe Jarvis is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores.
Reuters reports a former Oklahoma City police officer convicted of raping 4 women and sexually assaulting several others while he was on duty was sentenced on Thursday to 263 consecutive years in prison, the maximum allowable sentence. In December, an Oklahoma City jury found Daniel Holtzclaw guilty of 18 of the 36 charges of sexual assault, including rape. The sentence was given by District Judge Timothy Henderson and came after victims told the court on Thursday that the former officer had destroyed their lives. Prosecutors said Holtzclaw preyed on women who had trouble with the law and forced them into sex, hoping their word would not hold up against his in court. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.